Taking a quick look at UPWORK on the daily chart, had a nice pullback over here, and now we're getting up above that 200 moving average on the daily chart. Now looking at this pullback, if I were to ignore this piece of data right here that was caused by this earnings announcement, a little bit of volatility, I wanted to measure this pullback here. This pullback is $25.19. If I were to measure this pullback over here, this one's $25.04, so very close. Now if I were to include this piece of data over here, if I were to draw in this trend line from that pivot high to pivot low, I'd like to see what is the pullback amount on this one. This one is a $24.57 pullback, also very similar to this one that's over here. If I were to zoom out a little bit more, I like to measure this pullback over here. This one's a pullback with $19.50. Now if I were to take another piece of data from this pullback over here, from here to here, this pullback is $19.35. This is how I start to look at a chart from a bigger perspective to evaluate if there are some patterns that may repeat itself over and over again. What I can do next is use my trend-based fib extension, clicking from that pivot high, pivot low, projecting to that new recent high. Over here as well, pivot high, pivot low, projecting to that recent high. Because what we're doing when we're doing symmetry support, we're basically saying, okay, I'm going to duplicate this trend line and I'm going to project it over to this new recent high to see if the same pattern pullback is going to repeat itself over and over. Next, what I can do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. I'm going to use this data over here. I'm going to use from that pivot high, pivot low. I'm projecting to this new recent pivot high. What this chart is trying to tell me is that there may be some support right around that $40 area. Price is respecting that area support, starting to bounce out of it, and price is getting up above that 200 moving average on the daily chart. On the hourly chart, price is also up above that 200 moving average as well. So not financial advice, this is what you can do. You can pick up some shares, pick up some fractional shares with UPWORK, but you gotta set your stop below this pivot low. If you'd like to learn how to find high probability setups using Fibonacci analysis, check out my course in the descriptions below. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe now. Hit that notification button, trying to get to 1,000 subs. We go over cryptocurrencies as well as US equities. Love to hear from you in the comments area, and I'll talk to you soon.